Hey guys, welcome back. Carter BitsBeTrippin with BBT Ray. You guys haven't seen him in a few minutes. We are going to take you guys through this quick build that we have with a couple of the 6600 XTs. These are the new RDNA pieces of technology from AMD. You guys have probably seen several people that have went over details around these. But what we've done is Ray has went through a series of testing with these cards. We had a 6900 in here too, but you'll see some of the details today on that and kind of where we got with a handful of algorithms. We'll take you through the details of these GPUs, kind of their cost and some final opinions on them. But before we do that, I think we're going to do a word from our sponsor. We'll take you there. Decentralization is one of the most important factors in a global cryptocurrency network. Bitcoin's proof of work functions due to the exceptional security provided by the miners of the network. Today's sponsor is Compass Mining, a company with a customer-focused experience providing a tailored approach to purchasing, hosting, or even an at-home option, allowing anyone the opportunity to participate. If this interests you, head over to compassmining.io. All right, we're back. Let's get into this. So again, these were the PowerColor 6600 XTs, and we did it on what were all the ones that we tested? We tested Ethereum, tested Ergo,
Conflux,
Furo. I think that was most of them. You guys will see the spreadsheet here. We'll show you guys soon. And we tested a couple different settings. I mean, really with these 6600s, you can drive them pretty low when it comes to the voltages on the core. And just for a quick refresher that people don't know much about mining, when it comes to mining, you have some coins that are memory centric, meaning the memory that's on the GPU is really kind of what you're looking for. You're looking for the speed and the type of memory, and you're going to get a higher throughput of what you're hashing. When you talk certain coins like Ravencoin, you're going to be talking also core plus memory. So it's the algorithm was designed to use the GPU in the most efficient way possible of all the components within the GPU. So you'll see a lot of different numbers predicated on, the power of the core. So let's get into what the results of these cards were and take you guys into that. All right, now that we got the sheet up here, you guys can see now this link to this spreadsheet will be in the description below. It brings you to essentially our testing grid of testing the GPUs. And you see this with like Red Panda Mining and a few other channels out there that keep track of what they had used. And this is our version of that. So for the 6600 XT, we have went in and added the different settings. So there's core settings, there's memory settings, and then we have the voltages just for the core. Now this is ETC Ethereum Classic numbers here that you'll see here, and you'll also see some of the other ones like Ergo and Ravencoin in that. So we're not going to take you through all those numbers. We'll put up on the screen some of the highest numbers for each one for you and roll some B-roll with that. So you guys can obviously go through that spreadsheet, but I'll let BBT Ray here was the one going through and doing all that iterative testing. Now this stuff takes a lot of time. Anybody that's watched any of our live streams when I used to do this, it would take like 3 to 4 hours of testing. And anybody like Red Panda or Red Fox Crypto, anybody doing this and giving you a spreadsheet like this, it's a lot of time. So I'll turn it over to Ray real quick just to let you know kind of what he saw and some of his feedback from that.
Yeah, it wasn't too difficult. It is tiring sitting there crunching numbers all the whole time, but got through it. There wasn't really any problems. You did have to reset it a couple times, but other than resetting it a couple times, it really was a cakewalk. So.
Yeah, I mean, that's the kind of point, and why you're probably like, why do you have Ray here? What are you doing? What I'm trying to do is show that anybody can do this. Ray didn't have a lot of experience with this, and when it comes to just doing your iterative testing, you're really changing just 3 variables. Yeah. Or 4 variables if you consider the different coins. So if you pick a coin that you're going to try out with one of these machines, well, the first point I would say is start with like one of these videos or any of the other channels I've mentioned, and get a baseline. Say, hey, this type of card, this PowerColor card is running these settings, and here's what they're getting. Start with that, and then start to go upper and lower bound on your power, your settings on your millivolts, because that's how much power you're sending into the card, and then your memory up and down. And what you'll see is maybe you had what you'll hear this term called silicone lottery, which just means when they manufactured the card, sometimes there's a little higher upper bound on one card versus another. And if you're truly trying to optimize your hardware that you've invested money into to do this, doing this due diligence and going through this not only teaches you how mining works, but it gives you your understanding of what your particular hardware can do. And that's part of the fun with this space, actually, and why it is a little time consuming and you can spend a lot of time. It's just observe, report type of science. You know, it's like anything with normal scientific method stuff. You're testing stuff and then you get to it. And you should absolutely, I'm going to take this last point and then we'll wrap this one up for you guys. You definitely want to do at least the power stuff that we're talking here. Like, so if you just buy this hardware and you're like, you know what, this is too confusing, I don't want to do it, you will use like sometimes up to twice the power on just plugging this in and turning it on an algorithm. Like the differences here are substantial. So like on a 6600 XT as an example, if you're just letting it go full tilt, this thing will go to full TDP if you let it, like 150 watts. Or you can make some of these setting changes and get it down to 55 watts, which is a huge difference, like by comparison, like 100-watt difference. Like if you just went full tilt with some of the up power settings and didn't like bring down the millivolts. So I'm just trying to make sure I iterate this because, you know, as being good stewards and with all the other environmental stuff that everybody's complaining about and all that kind of stuff, when we look at things, it's like the best thing we can do is saying, hey, if we're going to participate upholding a network, we're at least taking some due diligence to use less power for almost the same results. And that's really the kind of, you know, PSA for today's video. So make sure you're liking and subscribing to the content. We're bringing a lot more to you guys. We're going to do a video on this build now that we've added also a 5600. So it's a 5600 XT and then two 6600 XTs. And we're going to show the two different differences when it comes to that. And we got a couple more builds for you guys. Ray's going to be doing a full build himself. We've been talking about for a while. And we're going to take you guys through that, which is more geared for newer people. So hopefully you guys find this content good, and we'll see you guys on the next one.